What do fans love most about Isabella Rossellini? Is it her stunning roles in cult classics, her fearless rejection of Hollywood's beauty standards, or her unapologetic individuality? The heritage of stardom. Isabella Rossellini was born on June 18, 1952 in Rome, Italy, into cinematic royalty. Her parents, Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini, were towering figures in film history. Ingrid, one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars, shone in classics like Casablanca and Notorious. Roberto, an innovative Italian director, changed global cinema with films like Rome, Open City, and Paisan. Their relationship? Legendary, but complicated. Their romance was a media storm waiting to happen. Ingrid left her husband and daughter in America to work with Roberto in Italy, and the two quickly began an affair. When she became pregnant, the scandal exploded. Hollywood turned its back on Ingrid, exiling her for several years. Despite the backlash, the pair collaborated on groundbreaking films like Stromboli and Journey to Italy, leaving an undeniable mark on cinema. Isabella grew up in an environment filled with art and creativity. Alongside her twin sister Isotta and brothers Roberto Jr. and Renato, she lived in a home frequented by writers, artists, and filmmakers. Despite their fame, her parents kept things surprisingly down to earth. Ingrid baked bread and sewed their clothes, while Roberto avoided the flashiness of wealth, focusing entirely on his craft. But Isabella's early years weren't without challenges. Diagnosed with scoliosis at 13, Isabella had to endure extensive surgeries on her back and leg, putting her out of commission and in a body cast for a year while she recovered. This difficult period fostered her love for storytelling as she escaped into books and classic films. In 1957, when her parents divorced, Isabella's life split between two worlds. Ingrid returned to Hollywood and revived her career with films like Anastasia. Roberto remained in Europe, immersed in avant-garde projects. Growing up between Hollywood's glitz and Italian cinema's raw artistry gave Isabella a unique lens through which she viewed the world. By 18, Isabella was ready to step out of her parents' shadow. She moved to New York City, enrolling at Finch College and later at the New School for Social Research. Determined to build her own identity, she avoided leaning on her family's fame. Breaking into modeling. Isabella Rossellini didn't take the typical route into modeling. At 28, an age when most models were considered past their prime, she was just getting started. Her big break came thanks to photographer Bruce Weber, who had a knack for spotting the extraordinary. He saw something in Isabella that didn't fit the industry's cookie-cutter standards. Their shoot for British Vogue in 1980 wasn't just another assignment. It was a turning point. One striking spread and Isabella was on everyone's radar. Her appeal wasn't about conventional beauty. Isabella's angular features and soulful eyes brought a refreshing authenticity to an industry obsessed with symmetry. But it wasn't just about looks. She exuded warmth, the kind that made her seem relatable rather than untouchable. While other models cultivated an air of mystery, Isabella felt like someone you'd want to chat with over coffee. Designers adored her adaptability, and photographers like Richard Avedon and Stephen Meisel loved her ability to convey emotion through the lens. By the early 1980s, Isabella was a force to be reckoned with. Her face graced the covers of Vogue, Elle, and Harper's Bazaar. But she didn't just fit into the industry, she challenged it. Confident but grounded, she proved that beauty didn't have to follow rigid rules. Fans connected with her authenticity. She was a quiet rebel, rewriting the script of what a model could be. In 1982, Isabella's career hit a high note. Lancôme signed her as their global ambassador. It made her the face of the brand for an astonishing 14 years. These campaigns weren't about unattainable perfection. Instead, they celebrated individuality, elegance, and authenticity. Women saw themselves in Isabella, which made her one of the most recognizable faces of the era. She wasn't just selling beauty products, she was redefining what beauty meant. Reflecting on her success, Isabella said, "I wasn't the most beautiful, I was just different." That difference wasn't just her strength, it was her power. Modeling opened doors, but for Isabella, it was only the beginning. Hollywood was waiting, and she was ready to make her next move, the Lancôme era. In 1982, Isabella Rossellini became the face of Lancôme, ushering in a new chapter for beauty advertising. At a time when the industry was shifting from unattainable glamour to a more relatable elegance, Isabella was the perfect fit. Her natural beauty and approachable demeanor redefined the brand, making her a symbol of timeless sophistication. For 14 years, her image was inseparable from Lancôme, appearing in campaigns that celebrated confidence and individuality. Isabella wasn't just selling products, she was selling a message. Her presence in Lancôme's campaigns emphasized self-expression over perfection. In an era of airbrushed ideals, she stood out as authentic and attainable. Women connected with her on a personal level, seeing her as more than a model, but as someone who embodied their aspirations. She became a cultural icon, reshaping how women thought about beauty and themselves. But not all was smooth. In 1995, Lancôme ended Isabella's contract, citing her age, 43, as the reason. The decision caused an uproar. Fans and industry insiders accused the brand of ageism, reinforcing the harmful notion that beauty fades with youth. Isabella didn't stay quiet. "It's ridiculous to think a woman's life is over at 40, she said. It's a statement that resonated with women worldwide. Her defiance turned her into a symbol of empowerment, sparking conversations about ageism in beauty and fashion. Her response paved the way for change. By addressing the issue head-on, Isabella challenged the industry to rethink its standards. She showed that confidence and authenticity, not age, are the true markers of beauty. In 2016, Lancôme welcomed Isabella back as an ambassador. Her return wasn't just a publicity move, it was a statement. Hollywood beckons. By the mid-1980s, Isabella Rossellini was ready to make her move into film. Her modeling career had already shattered conventions, and Hollywood seemed like the perfect next step. Her first big role came in White Nights, 1985, a Cold War drama by Taylor Hackford. She starred alongside dance legend Mikhail Baryshnikov and the brilliant Helen Mirren, playing Darya Greenwood, a woman caught between loyalty and betrayal. The film received mixed reviews, but critics couldn't ignore Isabella's natural screen presence. She held her own among a powerhouse cast, a sign of things to come. Her real breakthrough came a year later in Blue Velvet, 1986, directed by David Lynch. Isabella played Dorothy Valens, a nightclub singer trapped in a disturbing and abusive relationship. The film's raw portrayal of violence and psychological trauma left audiences stunned. But Isabella's performance was unforgettable. She delivered a haunting vulnerability that pulled viewers into Dorothy's world. Critics praised her fearlessness, while fans admired her honesty in portraying such a challenging role. Isabella wasn't just acting, she was bearing her soul. Her collaboration with David Lynch became a career-defining partnership. She once described him as a painter who uses film as his canvas, capturing their creative synergy. They worked together again on Wild at Heart, 1990. Here, Isabella played the enigmatic Perdita Durango. Her role was brief but unforgettable, fitting perfectly into Lynch's chaotic, surreal vision of Americana. Isabella didn't limit herself to heavy, boundary-pushing films, though. In Cousins, 1989, a romantic comedy, she showcased her softer side, charming audiences with her warmth and humor. Her ability to switch between intense drama and light-hearted roles made her stand out in an industry eager to typecast. By the late 1980s, Isabella had firmly established herself as more than a model-turned-actress. Her bold choices and undeniable screen presence earned her respect across the board. Collaborations with visionary directors. Isabella Rossellini's career is all about artistry over mainstream appeal. She worked with visionary directors who valued creativity. These collaborations made her a muse for bold and unconventional filmmakers. While her work with David Lynch is iconic, it's only one part of her story. In Death Becomes Her, 1992, she played Liesl von Reumann, a mysterious, ageless woman. The role was part camp, part sinister, and she nailed it. Draped in ethereal gowns, she delivered sly sophistication. Sharing the screen with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, she held her own. Isabella proved her comedic timing could rival her dramatic talent. In Cousins, 1989, directed by Joel Schumacher, Isabella showed her softer side. She played Maria, a woman navigating love and loss. The romantic comedy highlighted her warmth and charm. Fans loved seeing her in a relatable role, so different from her intense characters. She shifted between genres with ease, proving her versatility. Her love for unconventional projects was clearest in The Saddest Music in the World, 2003. Directed by Guy Maddin, the film was surreal and visually stunning. Isabella played Lady Helen Port Huntley, a beer baroness hosting a bizarre music competition. She fully embraced Maddin's offbeat vision, delivering a layered, compelling performance. Critics praised her ability to bring authenticity to even the strangest stories. Isabella's choices weren't about fame or box office numbers. She sought out directors who pushed boundaries. Her roles were daring and nuanced, often breaking conventions. This commitment earned her respect from fans and filmmakers alike. Isabella consistently surprised audiences, whether in big-budget films or indie projects, championing art and science. By the early 2000s, Isabella Rossellini had already conquered modeling and acting. Then, in 2008, she surprised everyone with Green Porno. This web series, produced by the Sundance Channel, explored the strange mating habits of animals. It was a quirky mix of humor, education, and performance art, unlike anything audiences had seen before. Each episode featured Isabella as a different creature: bees, anchovies, and even praying mantises. She wore elaborate, handmade costumes and delivered monologues about reproduction with wit and scientific accuracy. The title, Green Porno, was cheeky and attention-grabbing. It was perfectly matching the series' bold, playful tone. The project came from Isabella's love of biology. "I've always been fascinated by the natural world," she explained. "This series let me share that curiosity in a way that's fun and educational." Audiences loved it. Green Porno quickly went viral, earning a Webby Award and critical praise for its originality. Fans were hooked by Isabella's fearless and imaginative take on such an unusual topic. The success didn't stop there. Spin-offs like Seduce Me and Mamas explored animal courtship and parenting. These follow-ups were just as colorful, clever, and entertaining. With bold visuals, whimsical props, and Isabella's charm, they turned complex science into something everyone could enjoy. For many, Green Porno showed Isabella's fearless creativity. It wasn't a vanity project, it was a heartfelt dive into her passion for storytelling and science. Fans admired her willingness to take risks and redefine what entertainment could be. Through Green Porno, Isabella proved that art and science could work beautifully together. She made biology fun, engaging, and accessible. It inspired curiosity in audiences around the world. Once again, she pushed boundaries, showing that her creativity had no limits. Advocacy for individuality. Her career has always been about embracing individuality. She has consistently challenged societal norms and refused to fit into the narrow expectations placed on women in entertainment. Her film choices reflect this. In Death Becomes Her, 1992, she played Liesl von Ruhmen, a mysterious and ageless figure. The role combined elegance, humor, and eccentricity, showcasing Isabella's ability to bring depth to unusual characters. A year later, in Fearless, 1993, she took on the emotional role of a grieving mother, delivering a performance praised for its raw humanity. These roles weren't about glamour. They were about complexity, showing women as real and layered individuals. Isabella's individuality extended to her fashion. She embraced bold, eclectic styles, ranging from avant-garde designs to classic pieces. Her wardrobe reflected her belief that fashion is a tool for self-expression, not something to conform to trends. Fans admired her confidence, which made her a symbol of self-assured elegance. Off-screen, Isabella used her platform to speak up. She has consistently pushed back against industries that value women only for their youth or appearance. Her advocacy wasn't just about challenging ageism, it was about encouraging everyone to embrace their uniqueness. She has inspired countless women by proving that success doesn't require fitting into a mold. International influence. Her career proves that talent and authenticity can cross any border. Fluent in Italian, English, and French, she seamlessly moved between European and American cinema. This made her a true global star. Her multilingual abilities and cosmopolitan upbringing gave her a unique edge, allowing her to connect with audiences worldwide in a way few could. In the 1990s, Isabella shone in European films that celebrated cultural depth and diversity. One standout role was in Big Night, 1996, directed by Stanley Tucci and Campbell Scott. The film, about two Italian immigrant brothers running a struggling restaurant, explored themes of tradition and ambition. Isabella played Gabriella, a character whose warmth and complexity added to the film's rich narrative. Her connection to her Italian heritage brought authenticity to the story, making her performance unforgettable. Throughout her career, Isabella balanced the glamour of Hollywood with the artistry of European cinema. She embraced both worlds, often blending Hollywood's polish with Europe's raw storytelling. This duality set her apart, proving she could thrive in any cinematic tradition without losing her sense of self. Unlike many stars who struggled to navigate international markets, Isabella thrived. She was as adored in France and Italy as she was in the United States, a rare feat for any actor. Her relatability and ability to remain genuine. No matter the language or setting, it made her a beloved figure across cultures. Isabella went far beyond her roles. She used her global platform to champion causes she cared about, including environmental conservation, women's rights, and sustainability. Her advocacy, much like her art, transcended borders and resonated deeply with people worldwide. Fans admired her versatility and saw her as more than just an actress. She became a cultural bridge. Isabella's work showed that stories, family and personal life. Her personal life has captivated fans not for its drama but for its authenticity. Despite her Hollywood pedigree, she's always embraced the complexities of relationships, motherhood, and personal growth with refreshing honesty. In 1979, Isabella married filmmaker Martin Scorsese, whose work on Taxi Driver and Raging Bull had already made him a legend. Their marriage lasted 3 years, but the split was amicable. Isabella often credits Scorsese as a mentor, saying, "He taught me how to look at films with a director's eye." Their respect for each other outlasted their romance. Her later relationships were just as notable. She had a long-term partnership with Jonathan Wiedemann, with whom she shares her daughter, Elettra Wiedemann. Elettra followed in Isabella's footsteps as a model before transitioning into sustainability advocacy, focusing on food systems and agriculture. Isabella also briefly dated director David Lynch, a relationship that intertwined her personal and professional lives during their collaborations on films like Blue Velvet. As a mother, Isabella juggled her career and family life with remarkable grace. Raising her 2 children, Elettra and Roberto, she often stepped back from the spotlight to spend time with them. Fans admired her ability to balance the glamorous world of entertainment with the grounded realities of parenthood, making her relatable and inspiring. Off-screen, Isabella found joy in simplicity. She purchased a farm on Long Island, where she raised livestock and practiced organic farming. The farm became a sanctuary, reflecting her love for nature and commitment to sustainability. It also gave her children a grounding experience, teaching them the value of living harmoniously with the environment. Isabella used her life on the farm to advocate for sustainable living. She shared her experiences with fans, emphasizing ecological awareness and mindful consumption. Her authenticity resonated deeply as her off-screen life mirrored the values she championed publicly. Fans saw her as more than a star. They saw her as a role model for living with integrity and balance. Navigating fame with integrity, unlike many of her contemporaries, she resisted the allure of celebrity culture, choosing to focus on meaningful work and personal fulfillment rather than chasing headlines or box office numbers. From the beginning, Isabella approached her career with careful deliberation. She declined roles that felt shallow or stereotypical. Instead, she gravitated toward projects that challenged norms or offered fresh narratives. In The Saddest Music in the World, 2003, she played a beer baroness hosting a bizarre global music competition. This fully embraced the surreal vision of director Guy Maddin. This decision reflected her preference for art over commercial appeal. It cemented her reputation as a fearless artist willing to take risks. Isabella's personal life mirrored this grounded approach. While she was romantically linked to high-profile figures like Martin Scorsese and David Lynch, she avoided turning these relationships into tabloid fodder. Her connection to Lynch in particular led to creative collaborations on projects like Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart. But Isabella kept her personal life private, emphasizing her work over public spectacle. Even as her career soared, Isabella prioritized living authentically. She found joy in simplicity. She retreated to her Long Island farm to practice organic farming and raise livestock. This lifestyle allowed her to balance the demands of fame with her passion for sustainability. Her farm wasn't just a sanctuary, but also a platform for advocating mindful consumption and environmental awareness. Despite her Hollywood pedigree, Isabella never leaned on her famous parents' legacy to advance her career. Instead, she built her reputation through talent and hard work. She often spoke candidly about the challenges of growing up in the shadow of Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini. She uses these experiences to shape her unique perspective on fame. Isabella also maintained a deep connection with her audience. She often shares her love for biology, storytelling, and art through projects like Green Porno. Fans admired her willingness to explore unconventional topics and appreciated her authenticity in an industry often driven by artifice.